a real quick review of what we looked at yesterday. We looked at SOHCAHTOA. This is the only two questions I can ask you. So this is the questions we do on the piece of paper. The first one is when your unknown x is on the top, and the second one is when the unknown is on the bottom. So all your work should look exactly like this with all the equal signs. Absolutely everything should be identical. If you don't, if you're missing stuff, we're looking at like 1 out of 3, which is only 33%. You got to write it exactly as I'm writing it. Any questions about that? The next one, finding, today what we're going to look at is we're going to find angles. So you have the sides given to you, but now you have to find the angles to figure out their measurements. And we've already halfway done this, so this should be a little bit easier today. The big focus today is on the sequence of the keys on your calculator. You got to enter it properly in your calculator. Okay? So that's what we're looking at, what we looked at yesterday and where we're going with today. So turn to page 29. So today what we're going to do is we're going to find the angles. What allows us to find the angles is that we know all the ratios. So when they studied triangles, they looked at sine 30 degrees and found that no matter what, it's always 0.5. So if this is a triangle that's 30 degrees, they actually went and measured this as 4 and this side as 2. And then they drew another triangle that's slightly larger. And they measured this side to be 6 and this one was 3. Okay? And then they measured it to be a little bit larger again, and they found that that ratio, 8 and 4, always held true. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. So, and that just allows us to use it. So what we have to do is you got to use your second function key on your calculator. So when we have sine x equals the decimal, we've seen that before lots. What we're going to do is we're going to find x by itself. In order to find x by itself, you got to get rid of sine and do the opposite when you move it across the equal sign. So when we move it across, we're left with a capital letter x by itself equals, write this down, x equals, and when we move sine to the other side, it becomes inverse sine, arc sine, sine -1, 0.2546. So this becomes an entity. It has to stay together. So the true word, the true way of saying this is arc sine. That's the math proper way to say it, arc sine. However, because of calculators, you guys developed a new language, and we started calling it sine -1. And you started calling it inverse sine. Okay? Or some people, just to help them remember the key sequence, will call it the second function sign. And I really don't care what you call it. We'll all know what you're talking about. Okay? Usually I say arc sine, but when I start talking to you guys for a while, I start saying inverse sine. So I tend to find that's what you guys say when I start talking your language. Right? Copying you. It's a sign of endearment. Or not. So just like these other, then what you do is you go to your calculator, okay, to figure out the value for x. So on your calculator, watching me, I type on my old calculator, like all the old iPhones, you type in 0.2546. Then you have to go to second function. Now that I'm on second function right here, the -1 writing appears. And then I can press sine -1, 14.7. Degrees, we round to a whole degree, so the correct answer is 14 degrees. We round them to whole numbers, typically. Okay. Now, if I have a graphing calculator, okay, or the words appear on the screen, so when I press sine -1, it actually appears on the screen. Right? Sine -1, it appears on the screen. Then I type it in exactly as I see it, and I have to press equals after I put in a closing bracket. So you do have to check and make sure your brackets are done properly. And 14.7 as well. All right. So when you press your sign button, what does it say? If the word appears on the screen, Then you have to type it in as you see it. Okay. So next one. Do you think cosine is going to be any different? No, it's not. Okay, it's not different at all. It's exactly the same. So for the cosine one, you move cos to the other side, and it becomes y equals. That's really important. Write that down, write that down, write that down. Y equals. Write it down, write it down, write it down. What does it equal? Not cos, but cos -1 or inverse cos, whatever you want to call it. 0.1598. This is a thing, it's an entity. So it must be written like that. Then you can go to your calculator. Remember iPhones and other calculators where you don't see the words? You would type in the number first, 0.1598. Then you have to hit your second function button and press cos -1. And get 80.8. What does that round to? 81 degrees. Whole number's 4 degrees. Okay, whole number's 4 degrees. Everyone try that on your calculator, make sure you can get it. If not, come up right away. Go. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay. For your work, Z equals what? Tan -1. 3.2785. Do that on your calculator. Go. Do it on your calculator. Okay. Let's do some up. Oh, yeah. 73 degrees. Ever get 73 degrees? Did you need me? You good? Oh. Yeah. So probably the brackets, right? Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Wait. So your work should look like this. You should be working vertically down. Okay. So working vertically down. Let's do one more question right here. So here we go. First thing is label your HOA, GOA. Hey, label your HOA, GOA. It's the next page. Why are you guys flipping all over the place?
No, I wasn't here for.
Yeah, but you watched the video, so you have all the notes and you did your homework.
No, I didn't do that.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but
That's the problem.
I couldn't move really because I didn't
Okay, here's a good one. He couldn't really move, as in do math with his, because he sprained his ankle. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's all he does.
No, I'm not doing homework. No.
Yeah, I know. You can't. Not when your ankle sprained. How could you? That would hurt. It's like you're writing, my ankle! Nobody. Seriously, that's a horrible excuse. So lame, dude. You're so lame, dude. So lame, man. Brutal. No, brutal. Seriously, figure it out. Real life. Oh, awesome. Thanks. Label your HOA. Let's go. Getting soft. Say, mommy couldn't get me my bag. How would I reach it? Hey, what's up? Oh, you're in irradiance. Yeah, you'll get every answer wrong. Yeah. Hey guys, I know your ankle might be sore, but let's try and write, okay? Okay. So, refocus, all seriousness aside. All joking aside. There we go. It's Friday. We know the opposite side is 5. We know the adjacent side is 3. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure SOHCAHTOA is on the top of your page. Once SOHCAHTOA is on top of your page, which ratio should we use? Which one has O and A in it? Tangent. So we start by writing what? Tan theta equals O over A. Tan theta equals O over A. Then we substitute in. Now the weird part today is that we don't know what theta is, so we can't substitute in like 10 degrees or 15 degrees or whatever. We have to only substitute in for the O and the A. So when we substitute today, you're going to leave it as tan theta, right? Tan theta equals 5 over 3. Now, if you don't have theta, that can be a capital X, a capital Y, a capital W, okay? Now, here's where it's different. We got to move tan to the other side. So you can just leave it like this as a fraction, okay? But you must have your brackets, especially when you use your calculator. Some people, actually, I'll leave that as 5 over 3. If you know how to use your fraction button, that's awesome. If not, what a lot of people do is they do this, tan negative 1, 5 divided by 3, because that's what the fraction is. But some people like to keep it old school like we've been doing and actually go and get the decimal and go 5 divided by 3 equals, and then write down 1.6666. So you have option 1 in yellow, option 2 in blue, option 3 in pink or violet, whatever that is. I'm colorblind. So I would do either option yellow or option blue. Okay. Go to your phones, go to calculators, get your answer. What is it? Are you sure? 0.28. So what would you round that to if that was the answer? The man, the myth, the legend, Day Cool. It's actually 59. Did you read your calculator right? Let me see if I got it right. Second function, tan. I got 59. Are you in degrees, radians, or gradients? It sounds weird that you're so close, but a little bit off. Bring it here. Bring your calculator here. Okay, hands up. You got this. 59 degrees. Awesome. Let's do one more. Okay, draw this triangle right here, guys. Draw this triangle. Okay. So a right angle triangle, one side is 6, one is 15. This is the last one, then you start your homework. Let's go, Benson. You draw it? Come on, guy. That's not bad math skills. That's bad student skills. Yeah, label your... So, angle of interest is shaded. Sometimes they do this to you. They don't call it a letter. What capital letter do you want to call it? X is good, too. So, capital X. I like B, though. You're plus one of my books, Chase. But label it on the outside, and it should be a capital. Okay. Label your HOA, Goa. Label your HOA, Noah. I'm such a good rhymer. Okay. So, which ratio should we use? Which one has O and H in it? Sine. So we start by writing sine theta equals O over H. Then we can substitute in. Now you could have started with sine x if you wanted to, but since we labeled it x, we should call it x. Otherwise, x will get sad. 6 over 15. Okay. Next step is to move sine to the other side. What does it become? Sine negative 1. How do you guys want me to write this? As a fraction or as a division? Division. So it would be bracket 6 divided by 15. And just listen real carefully. The way you can bleep this up really badly is by forgetting to write this end bracket. Okay, if you don't write that end bracket, your calculator is going to do it right, but you screwed up. Okay, you have to have that closing bracket in order for your calculator to perform that properly. Okay? Okay, try it on your calculator, see what you get. Bracket 6 divided by 15 bracket. It's trigonometry, second function, sine -1. 23.5. What would that round to? Yeah, I'd round that up. Good job, Darian. 24 degrees. Well done. Chase? Yeah. Yeah, and then press equals, and it'll do that for you. Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. I have to do it backwards. The newer ones I like better. But some people's phones, like the new Android phones, will actually have the calculator like yours, which is kind of nice, right? All right. Any other questions? So let's go over your homework to show your expectations. Change this to assignment 8. This is supposed to be assignment 8. Okay, so change that to assignment 8. Otherwise, you'll be confused on the answer key. Okay, so you should be showing your work for 1A, right? Writing D equals sine -1. That's important, very important. And then D equals. Same thing with B. You want to write F equals cos -1, and then write F equals. Noah, did you write this down? Like I gave you an answer. Did you write it down? No, but you will. Okay? It's called guided practice. Okay. So the first ones you're going to cruise through very fast. Number 2, label your HOA. You should be able to get it. Okay. Number 3, you have the diagram. You should be able to get it. Turn the page over once you've done copying this down. You guys all good? Can I go on? Okay, so next page. Number 4, here's the diagram for number 4. Okay. So we have the cliff. You're looking down at the ship. We're trying to find W, which is the angle from the boat looking up. Okay, there's 90 and 150. Put them in the right spot. How's the pepper ale? You guys enjoy it? Really? I thought this was pretty good. Yeah, I saw you up there. I was pretty impressed with that table surfing. Grade 9s killed it. Grade 10s did good too. 11s and 12s sucked. What's that? Well, so you guys, I had to go and do the pizza thing, so I left right when you guys were about halfway. Yeah, the other class got too close, and so when they tried to roll, they rolled into each other and stopped, and then they got out from underneath the table, so the table was half on the ground. Yeah, I was smart. I was smart. That worked beautiful. That's how they used to move heavy stuff back in the old days. They just roll it on logs and stuff. Yeah, totally. Okay, any questions about this diagram? Finding W? Okay, next one, cross this off. Number 5, cross off. Don't do it. It's just, yeah, don't do it. Number 6. Okay, so the angle of depression at the top. Here's a little trick. These are actually identical because of parallel lines. You looked at parallel lines in grade 8 at Claiborne, but those are actually identical. Angle of elevation, depression are the same if you're on the opposite sides of the triangle. So we didn't cover that yesterday. This is a new trick for today. Any questions? You only got 6. You should be able to whip through them. Don't forget to check your answers, okay? Don't do number 5. Don't cross it off. Yeah, cross it off. Don't do it. You can go. You know what, Darren? You do number 5. Everyone else doesn't have to. It's just a little wordy, Darren. That's all, Darren. Yeah, it's just a little wordy. But it's not that difficult. It's just wordy. I won't ask you something like that. Okay? All right, begin. Good luck. Enjoy. Have fun.